didn't ask that last
Alderman
week.
Gregory.
No, excuse me.
You always the one.
Alderman
Damn.
Gregory, please let the alderwoman finish.
I very specifically asked for this last week. And I very specifically asked last week if amendments can be submitted with or without council approval. There are processes in place. I'm not commenting on anything in this amendment except the process. And I think if we're going to talk about disingenuous, I'm going to
people not taking.
Is that it, Alderman Hanauer? Alderman Williams.
Yes, Mayor. So, you know, I'm just truly amazed at the gamemanship and the plan that people not taking things serious, because we've talked about this little bit amount of money and dealt with much greater money with less compassion and less financial responsibility. But this little piece out of $3 million, the day the senator called us and said, we got $3 million to take, at the time, Springfield was experiencing gun violence. We're experiencing all them things. You remember, Chief, absolutely. There were 16 organizations at the table in the beginning. Mike Feline got out, Tiffany got out, all of them got out for different reasons. It ain't like nobody else was thought of. And it's amazing that every piece of that grant is working except the community engagement, because people are playing games and been on the council forever, but they don't understand that. Well, I'm confused. Well, I don't understand, and I just need to see a scope of work, but yet we pass money all the time and we don't see scope of work. Tonight, I just bring up fiscal analysis that we just got emailed last night with much, much more money. So we need to quit playing the games. These guys are trying. They are trying to meet the requirement. Of course, the agency, and that agency was chosen by that line on that state budget that gave doors to $3 million. It didn't have to be that agency. It could have been DHS. It could have been whatever. That's the route that it was took. It was me and Sean that told the senator, we wanted to be with the Springfield Police because we wanted legitimacy, because we already know what we face with everything we ask. So let's go through our chief, and this is how this thing materialized. It wasn't about being favorable and leaving people out. It was a serious, honest attempt to do something about the violence, and in particular, the gun violence that was going on at that time back then. You know, not to say it hasn't improved or be critical. I'm just saying we still stuck on it. The buildings came, the administration changed, I don't know. All of a sudden we ain't doing the buildings. And so you guys really legitimately try to find a better way to keep using that last part to keep community engagement together. And here we are tonight asking 1,000 questions and being confused over such a small amount of money that ain't even the money like the money we've really been spending, without asking for fiscal analysis, without being responsible. We won't ask about all that other stuff, but we'll pick the heck out of money that has to go to community engagement for the East Side. The 2 wards, that's what the senator said. I want the gun violence stopped in Ward 2 and 3. We signed off on it. Chief, you signed it. I signed it. Do you remember this? We signed that piece.
Yeah, my signature was not on that, but I certainly approved it. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's right. So we try to go through our department to make it legit and do a good thing for the community, so we wouldn't be looking like we're out here just doing anything with money because the senator found some money for us. And we still are faced with, this is a shame. That's all I'm going to say. This is a shame that you've been on the council this long and you guys don't understand the process, what's before and after. And I sit up here and everything from KidZim to you name it, I don't get into the scope because I feel like, well, wait a minute. That's why we have staff. That's why we have staff to take care of all that and trust you and do that. But they'll sit up and say how beautiful you are in your department, and all that didn't take us to pure hell.
Last week, and Corporation Counsel said that someone was going to be reaching out to these individuals, right, to get some information, or was that supposed to be Chief Scarlett reaching out to them?
I will take care of that. We did not lay out a timeline, but I think that's probably important that we move this project forward. And like I said, Mr. Williams proactively sent me his information, so I probably need to get in touch with the others to ensure what exactly their scope of work may look like. And here's, I would just want to add maybe one clarification point to what Alderman Gregory said. If DCEO says the project does not meet their their scope of work does not meet their requirements, then it would be my goal to sit down with that individual organization to figure out how we can make it meet the requirements so that this can work, because that's ultimately what it's about, is working together with our community.
My second follow-up is for you, Chief Scarlett. How long is this process? You said you've already sat down with DCEO. When you send Mike's information in, do they respond back to you in 10 days, 20 days?
10 may be a good guess. So they work, she works in the office occasionally is kind of how it's explained. She did say the amendment process was rather lengthy and that would take some time. But her name is Jenna, she assured me that they would help us with making any amendments, so.
Well, I am wanting to support these ordinances, hearing the clarifications that Alderman Redpath asked you, and you were able to clarify. And to my understanding, you're already helping is it Andre with the boxing gym? You guys are already taking steps to.
So we talk about our officers in our community. Officer Lamar Moore, he's our neighborhood police officer in Beat 300. He was interested in a mentorship opportunity with Ring of Champions Boxing, where essentially teach young kids about morals and values, and also teach them to box at the same time and give them, sort of that parental figure to look up to. So yes, we're kind of starting that. It's a much smaller scale, but yes, I'm working through that.
Okay, I look forward to those scopes of work when you get them to. Thank you.
Alderman Donlin.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Chief, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you and your department and those involved making community engagement a part of this, because it is so important. So many